What's up, Gabe?
Well, hey there, Ian. Is it Wednesday already?
Yeah, we're back after a little hiatus.
We're back. Yeah, we took a week off, but we wouldn't abandon you guys.
Not completely.
Welcome to Blank as a Fart. I'm Gabe. That's Ian.
Yup.
We are almost through the original series of Twin Peaks. Wow, yeah. And we've hit some rough spots here and there, but we're closing in on the end and we're starting to see what it's all about.
Are we? Are we?
I guess.
Didn't we already see what it's all about? And now we're re-seeing what it thinks it's now about?
Well, on this watch through, I'm seeing less and less of what it's all about, at least to me. I'm like, oh wow, there's so little of this in this part of the series. I'm like, oh, they don't bring any of this up at all, but this is like what I remember the most, and it's so, yeah, oh man.
It's like the writing was on the cave wall.
There feels like a lot of filler.
Yeah, this was a Phil happy episode. Like what?
This was,
We're
but
just
I mean, it
padding.
advanced it advanced some important relationships, and you got some hints as to what's coming next, but we'll get into the nitty gritty in a little bit here. First, we'll plug the socials real quick. Blank as a fart everywhere except for Gmail. That's blank as a fart pod at gmail.com. Point, 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 point.
Write us an email, somebody.
Yeah, maybe I'll check it one day.
I hope he does. There's probably like a million emails in there.
I doubt it. I very much doubt it. But yeah, you know where we're at if you've been following us. We're doing all our live broadcasts on YouTube right now, probably for the foreseeable future. That's also where all of our video episodes are available for previous viewing.
Anyway, yes.
Anyway. And then all the usual podcasts on Spotify, Audible, iTunes. You know the drill. But we've got an episode to discuss, folks. You want to go ahead and get started, Ian?
Yes.
Yes, let's do it.
On the Wings of Love, I would like to start.
On the Wings of Love. Oh my God. What a title. But apt for this week. Really, really apt, unfortunately. Yeah. Soap opera bullshit. Not when we start, though. We start with the action. We pick up on last week's cliffhanger, not in a real hurry, as we take a leisurely pan down the wall of the bookhouse, getting a good look at the collection of books. Pretty impressive. Before we end up at the floor, where the unconscious book boy, who was poorly guarding Harry, lays bleeding from behind his ear. Moving up a set of stairs, we pass several empty liquor bottles and some of Jones's clothing. Eventually, the camera comes to rest on Harry, passed out on the cot. Jones straddles and sexually assaults Harry before rubbing some sort of substance on his lip. And then hers, which we assume to be like a hallucinogen of some sort.
Yeah, probably. Or opium or something. I don't know.
Yeah, something to make him complicit. But I don't know why she's dosing herself, too.
She wants to get off.
Yes, yeah. For him, it's a trip. For her, it's, a party.
Yeah.
Anyway, it gives Harry some visions of Josie being the one on top of him. Little Coda cameo from Joan Chen. We'll miss you, gal. After a moment, Jones pulls a Garrett from her wristwatch, which snaps Harry out of his daze. He reaches for his gun on the nightstand, but Jones tugs him off the bed into a standing position, continuing to strangle Harry while he desperately blocks the wire with his thumbs. Harry finally gains the upper hand with some stiff elbows to the ribs and then renders Jones unconscious with a right cross.
Okay, my first comment was, wow, man, Truman gets all the action. Like, he had like a really saucy sex scene with Josie way back on the couch before she was leaving to wherever she was going, went back to Japan or something. And that was a really interesting sex scene. And now we have this one, like all these really saucy, weird sex things going on here. And he doesn't even go to the former cat house. really.
To One-Eyed Jacks,
One-Eyed Jacks, you know,
just that one time.
his life is One-Eyed Jacks. I don't know. It's weird. Anyway, One-Eyed Johnson.
He
Anyway.
does. He does seem to be a babe magnet, doesn't he?
And then my other comment.
It's the outfit, dude.
I don't remember if we talked about it because I don't remember when I watched it, but I watched the original Judge Dredd movie with Sylvester Stallone. Did we talk about this?
I'm not sure we did.
Because the person that Jocelyn, she's in that movie.
Joan Chen.
Joan Chen.
Oh.
I mean.
I guess I didn't know that.
I was very like, holy shit, that's her.
Well, the only other thing I know her from is The Last Emperor.
Her acting is just not as good in that as it was in this. Anyway.
Doesn't she enjoy Lect Club too?
Oh, I don't know. Was she?
Yeah, I think if you look her up on IMDb, she's got a fair resume.
I just think it was funny that I just happened to watch this movie that I'd never seen before. And, oh, holy shit, she popped up into it. And it's like, yes. That was 95, so, yeah, it was a few years after this. But anyway, I thought that was funny.
Me seeing Kenneth Welsh in the Singleton joint.
Since we're probably never going to talk about her ever again, I thought I would squeeze that in here that I came upon her just randomly and knew who she was.
Oh, yeah. We'll never talk about her again.
Oh, ever. No. Thanks, Gabe. Thanks for ruining, spoilering more spoileries.
Or am I? Maybe I'm misdirecting.
Yeah, right.
Because I've spoiled enough at this point.
Anyway, Truman getting all the ladies.
Anyway, Truman getting it on, even if they're trying to kill him, or if their cousin is trying to kill him, or if the dude who pimped her out her whole life is trying to kill him through his servant. I don't know. He's got a rough go of it, does Harry. We move on to some lighter fare at the Great Northern. Good old John Justice Wheeler is testing some sort of biodome invention in his hotel room.
What a sweater.
Okay, theories. Oh, God, yeah, wasn't that colorful? So, okay, what are your theories on what his invention does?
You know what? I was like, what is he doing? And I was just like, I don't care.
They never discuss it. They never bring it up. Audrey never asks.
Moisture has something. I'm guessing something to do with greenhouse.
Yeah,
he's solving greenhouse emissions.
Yeah, or getting ready to grow crops on Mars. Who knows? He's come a long way from a trucking company, right? Or was it construction? No, he was in construction. Knock from room service comes at the door, but no, it's Audrey dropping off his breakfast in person, playing up all the best aspects of wink wink customer service. John oddly asks her if she remembers her grandfather. What fucking kind of question is that? Before reciting an anecdote he learned from him about bringing nails with your hammer. Basically, he's calling her out for just showing up to flirt and not actually acting on this wild chemistry between the two of them. Am I right? Woo!
They have pretty good chemistry.
But, they did all right in this scene, I think.
I think they've always had pretty decent chemistry.
Yeah. Moving a little fast, maybe, with an 18-year-old girl, but,
I don't know. It seems like it's been a couple days. It's been a couple days.
Yeah, 2 whole days.
What are you going to do?
In the world of Twin Peaks, that's a long fucking time.
It is.
Audrey continues to play coy, but she does seem receptive to Jack's ceaseless flattery. I didn't write down any of the cheesier comments he had for her, did you?
No.
No. It was a long list of them. I guess they weren't that bad, but 30 years later, they seem a little cringe.
I mean, this isn't the one I had issues with, so I mean...
No, not this one at all.
It's all the other ones.
We'll come to that later. And after some further witty banter, the two agree to a sunset date. Was it going to be another picnic again? Did they say picnic? I forget.
No, I don't think so.
No, they did the picnic already. What was the date supposed to be? He said something about his plane. I don't remember. Hangover Harry emerges from interrogation at the lockup. He's getting nothing from Jones, who is clamming up, demanding to speak to the South African consulate. Harry still seems puzzled as to why Eckhart would want him dead, but Cooper offers a simple and direct explanation: sexual jealousy.
That's my only note. My only note for this thing. And it's just like, what the
Sexual
fuck?
jealousy.
That's clearly why.
After some good-natured discussion about Harry's debilitated current state, Cooper describes a rich and gross meal to try and induce Harry to vomit. Success. I guess that's how you cured a hangover back then, is forced puking.
I guess.
That's never worked for me.
Didn't cure it, though, so.
Dude, that late in the game, it's not going to help him at all. That alcohol is already absorbed. Afterward, the two move to Harry's office, where Doc Haywood is waiting for them. Hayward. Keep wanting to call him Haywood. Doc Hayward is waiting for them, as well as this small bonsai tree delivered to Harry's desk with a note on it, indicating it was a parting gift from Josie. Sad Harry face.
But is that what it is?
You're jumping a whole paragraph ahead. The doc lets Harry know about Wyndham Earle's visit to his home the previous day, and Coop lets Harry know that they're due to publish their next move that afternoon. The gang then get a visit from Gordon Cole. He's there to deliver some of the classified documents that the Bureau has on Wyndham Earle to aid in the Twin Peaks Department's investigation. We zoom in on the bonsai tree to discover it wasn't a gift from Josie after all, but from Earle. It's a listening device that he's using to bug Harry's office. He's listening right now through his earpiece on the other end. As they're speaking, he's shuffling a deck of cards and complaining to Leo that Cooper isn't playing fair. Cole offers some more of the juicy tidbits from the Bureau's dossier. Earle was on haloperidol, the same drug as the one-armed man, but the Bureau believed he was using it to fake mental illness, confirming Cooper's theory. He also mentions that Earle worked on Project Blue Book for a couple of years in the 60s, indicating a connection to Major Briggs and the Air Force. But all of the information about his activities there are redacted. Little moment of obvious comedic relief as Gordon screams bonsai right at the tree. What reason would he have for doing that unless he knew there was a microphone in it? There's no logic behind that whatsoever, other than
unless Gordon is working with Wyndham Earle to kill Dale Cooper.
That's wow.
And then Gordon and Wyndham don't get along.
The entire plot of The Return.
They don't get along, so he's fucking with him.
It's all a ploy. Anyway, Gordon screams bonsai right at the tree, which causes Earle to yank his earpiece out in fury, which causes Leo to belch in terror. That was also very weird.
Very odd, yes.
Very weird choice. Everyone gets up to head to breakfast, but Cole holds Cooper back for a moment as he's got one more surprise for him. His reinstatement into the FBI. Cole hands Cooper his badge and a new service weapon, a Smith & Wesson 10mm model 1076. The two vow to pursue, capture, and incarcerate Wyndham Earle and share a jaunty thumbs up. After this, we return to Earle's cabin in the woods, where he demonstrates a card trick to Leo, having him draw 3 queens out of the deck, with the faces of Donna, Audrey, and Shelley superimposed upon them. Following that, with a king with Cooper's face. Earle mentions that they need one more queen. He pulls that card from behind Leo's head, but the face on it is currently blank.
Oh, I bet I know who it is.
Oh, is it that obvious already? He places it on top of a flyer for the Miss Twin Peaks contest, implying that the winner will be the one who takes the place of this last queen and that she will die at his hands right in Cooper's face. Revenge is a dish best served crazy. Haloperidol, baby. So what's your take on Wyndham Earle at this point? Has he just completely degenerated into a caricature? Or do you see any kind of merit in him at this juncture?
I don't think there ever was. I don't really understand.
Not even the pistachio disguisey bullshit?
Nah, that's so dumb. It's all his stuff is he's just he's a collection of cliches.
I'm starting to feel that way myself. Yeah, some of the mania just feels forced, I guess.
And they're using all the kind of techniques of like
There are
Psycho. He uses chess. He superimposes heads on things like cards, or like he writes letters
right.
with. It's just all of this stuff.
Yeah, he could be a Darkman villain for all we care, right?
He's like the not not really the Riddler, but like he's like half of it. He's like the shitty Riddler. He's like Dollar Tree Riddler. I don't know.
Oh,
It's just like
Temu Riddler.
It's just fucking. I don't know. It's yeah. I find his stuff very uninteresting.
It is. It's kind of derivative. Yeah.
And maybe it wasn't back then, but now it's just overlaid.
I mean, it was probably but now it doesn't read well. It reads as like I said, it's a caricature of insanity. There were a few times in the beginning, and there are a few times later, like where you do get a sense of the menace that this character is supposed to be capable of. Like
Right.
the ones that get me in particular are like the scene where he leaves the death mask in Cooper's bed, and his monologue on the tape is, I really like that. I feel like that's a good measure of how intimidating he can genuinely be. And like the first couple of times he encounters Leo, and just like Leo was this, hulking alpha male, and he's been mentally hobbled, but even still, like
it's a little sadistic. But all this, I don't know. It's but it's like we're cherry picking all the best. But he doesn't
of the cliches. Yes,
he doesn't really come across as actually smart. To me,
he comes across as '90s villain smart.
I guess.
Like he's reminiscent of like a Magnum PI case of the week, or Moonlighting, or something like that.
I guess a lot of the problem with this show that I have mostly now is that it's just a lot of tell and not a lot of show. It's just they tell us a lot of information that's like, do we need any of this? Do we need any of it?
Right. And I think this is where you and Lynch would agree. Lynch is not a teller. Lynch is a shower. And thankfully, we'll get much, much more showing than telling from here on out, once we finish the original series.
That's because we have a month of Twin Peaks to get through. I could die before then.
But only 3 of those episodes remaining are not directed by Lynch himself.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say some of the. I mean, but yeah, so, within this current run of this show, even still, it hasn't been that great, even from Lynch's perspective. Right. I don't know.
But again, I'm just going to reiterate here that we only have 3 hours left of this, where Lynch is not in complete control.
All right.
And the show is much better. Right. The tale is much better when it's solely in Lynch's control, I feel.
How will I get this time back?
Well, no, I shouldn't say solely, because Mark Frost is important. But yeah, this is too many cooks in the kitchen. This is too many writers in the room. This is network television, and this is Lynch hating every second of it.
Well, I also feel like they have to fill 22 episodes.
Right.
And
again,
I don't think they know how to do that with what they're trying to tell. Like what they're trying to show is not 22 episodes long. It is like 8 episodes. It is like it's not. Anyway, that's all I have to say right about that.
Yeah. No, this is ground that we've covered, but it's it bears repeating. Now we're at the Great Northern, where Donna has been following her mother in a very, very subtle pink station wagon.
First of all, like just before we get this is very funny because it's like have we ever seen that pink station wagon before? I don't think so.
I don't believe so.
Man, this
maybe
is
once.
Donna came out of like the 60s for this episode. Like she's wearing like this very like collared sweater and long
I
skirt,
really feel
and
like
then
the whole Hayward family is kind of out of the
I
60s,
know,
to
but
be honest with
sometimes
you.
Donna dresses a bit more adult or a little bit more something. But this episode just feel like what show did she come out of for this? You know, it's just what anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, she tails her mother inside, where Mom is taking a quick meeting with Ben Horn in his office.
One other note about that: when she comes in, when they enter, nothing screams more of like the set stage of the Great Northern. The way that the matte painting in the background outside, the way it looks as they enter into the front door of the it's just a very interesting shot.
Yeah, it's pretty noticeable. Yeah.
Anyway,
doesn't hide much. Quick peek at the front desk where Mike and Nadine are checking out after what was apparently a very memorable evening for the both of them.
I hope
She's 35.
I hope he's 18. I hope he's 18. Have they ever said he was 18?
They've never confirmed it, no.
Yeah.
But they have given Nadine's age at 35. Donna approaches and asks for Audrey, seeking her help to find out exactly what her mom and Audrey's dad are up to. In Ben's office, Eileen appears to be trying to return a stack of old love letters, which Ben refuses to take back. She asks why he's bothering her now, and he sells it as part of his big redemption tour. He's trying to right all his wrongs that he's committed in his life, and he's decided to start by trying to force himself on a married woman. Interesting strategy. One in a wheelchair at that. She's none too pleased with his advances. Cue Donna and Audrey entering the little Nancy Drew spy hole, just in time to hear Ben ask Eileen, "Have you told her?" To which she replies, "No, and I never will." Eileen insists that Ben stop visiting her home as she leaves while he creepily tries to caress her hair one last time. Audrey doesn't appear to get what's going on, but there's definitely a look of realization dawning on Donna's face right now.
So is this a red herring, or is this like going to play out to be what they're alluding to?
Oh, do you want me to spoil that for you now?
I mean, I
will say
it is what it is, isn't it?
I will say that nothing is ever verbally confirmed one way or another.
Oh, wild. Okay.
Before the end of the original series.
Okay, that's fine then. Did they confirm it in the return?
Take that for what you will.
Does it get wrapped up in the return?
I'm not going to say anything more for now. Other than I will say that from here, even as a child, witnessing this storyline, I was very, very disappointed. And I was not any happier with the way they wrapped it up before the series ended.
Like, I don't really care, I guess. I just thought, like, oh, here's another cliche.
Exactly. That's what bothered me about it. Like, in a series that had built its reputation on being different and doing things differently, this was one of the oldest tropes in the book. And this was the best thing they had for Donna? You know, it's just, it was a huge disappointment then. It's a disappointment now.
It's interesting, too, because, like...
and it's so contradictory to everything else that's going on with Ben Horn.
Well, it's also interesting, too, because, like, if you look at... Because this is another thing I was thinking about, but it's On the Wings of Love. There's 4 queens. 3 of them are dealing with love, and then one of them is dealing with this other potential, he's my father, or there's something going on that between, you know, she's not, her love is a little different. Like, her relationship with James is kind of stupid, really. Like, James is probably out there, you know, obviously we get a message
we
later,
know what he's doing.
But he's out there like fucking left and right, experiencing, or he's in,
right,
you know,
like he was only gone 4 days before he was blanking some married woman.
Yeah, he's you know, he's he doesn't. He says he loves her, but he doesn't love her. That's like misspent youth bullshit that she's sitting there and like, I don't know. It's just funny.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He is breaking hearts on that road.
But everyone else is like in these like new, fresh relationships.
Yeah,
it's kind of
weird.
Kind
of wonder how long they were expecting James Marshall to be gone from the series, or if they were even expecting him to come back for a potential season 3. But neither here nor there. Well, it looks like Coop had time to change into his suit before they headed off to the Double R for breakfast.
It was in the car.
They just although they do order lunch. Did you notice that?
Oh, that's true.
They don't order breakfast food, so.
But what's also crazy? Here's the other thing. They have to like.
Quasi.
They have to.
So crazy.
That later that day they have to publish the next move in the newspaper. So obviously that doesn't happen in this episode. So it has to happen in the next episode. So this.
No, they had just phoned it in.
Oh, did they phone it in?
When Cole showed up. Yeah.
Oh, did they? I don't remember. I missed that part.
Or it's at some point they say they phoned it in.
I thought they said they had to phone it in, but I didn't think they had picked it.
Yeah, no. There's at one point it's somebody moves a piece on the chessboard and just called it in, something like that. I might find it here in the write-up later.
All right, well, never mind. We can get through. We'll get.
Maybe we haven't. Maybe I'm jumping ahead and we haven't actually seen it yet.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, back at the diner, Cole pulls the same trick that Cooper did to get Harry to throw up again. Ha 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 ha! I think they're just doing frat boy ribbing now. That's how they handle it in the law enforcement community?
Clearly.
Yeah. Cole's eye is caught by Shelley Johnson, whose attention is drawn when Cooper has to shout her name so Cole can hear it. Gordon appears to be quite smitten by Shelley's beauty, aren't we all? He heads up to the counter to flirt with her and order some coffee and finds, much to his astonishment, that he can hear Shelley's voice perfectly well without the use of his hearing
Must be
aid.
love.
He labels it as a miracle.
What a player,
Oh,
what a game to play to get the ladies. Could you imagine just being like deaf, just pretending you're deaf to everybody, and then like this beautiful like, oh my god, I can hear you.
For years.
For years.
Work golly. Just until you meet your Shelley Johnson.
You should try it, Gabe. You should give it a go. The David Lynch playbook.
About the age he was at this point, right?
Oof. And Shelley's like what? 20 maybe?
He was in her early 20s for this, yeah. Anyway, Shelley seems I didn't really mention the log lady's participation.
Oh, yeah. She's also there.
This cherry pie is a miracle. Sure. You do.
He
can't
Margaret. Hear her. See, he can drown. He can yell, and they all drown out. Like, what, ugly lady with a log?
Shelley seems charmed by Cole's quirkiness and sincerity, and he takes a seat at the counter to enjoy massive quantities of pie.
I wrote here a lot of Lynch in this episode.
A lot of Lynch.
For worse or worser.
It gives me an opportunity to work on my Gordon Cole impression.
Yeah. For worse or worser. Oh my god, puke. Kill me now. This is pretty much where I was like, and then it gets worse. But anyway.
It gets worse. Oh, Heather Graham. She had just not hit her stride yet, had she?
Man, it's weird. It looks like her, but then it also doesn't look like her.
Right?
It's just so like...
She is just like she's not grown into her skin or something.
Yeah, and then...
Like she's only 19 and just barely starting out.
And then even the way Coop deals with all this, it's just like, puke. Save me.
It's throwback. And the music that kicks in whenever the two of them talk, that should be your clue as to like where the inspiration for that angle comes from. It's all.
This Lovey puke episode is off-putting. Anyway.
Oh, we get plenty of mayhem later. Let's see here. Where are we? At the table. Cooper is playing around with a sketch that interpolates both the log lady and Major Briggs's markings that they received during their disappearances. See, I don't think it actually does, though, because the Major's tattoo was 3 triangles, not 3 diamonds like Cooper is playing around with.
Right.
All right, so I'm not the only one who noticed.
The Major's was more like that radiation symbol. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. Triangles, not diamonds. But whatever, it moves the plot along in weird and fascinating directions. Something outside catches his eye, and as Harry returns to the table from the restroom, Cooper tells him he believes he's spotted a chickadee on a Dodge Dart. Harry looks at himself and counters, nah, it's a finch. But Annie arrives at the table to set the record straight and confirm Cooper's take. Chickadee on a Dodge Dart.
Good use of time.
Is that a clever line? Is that
just a
wordplay of some sort? I don't know.
I don't know, man.
As Annie pours coffee for the two, she and Cooper engage in a lot of awkward small talk. The wry look on Harry's face indicates that, hungover as he is, he knows what's going on. As Cooper begins to tell Annie a joke about penguins, she's suddenly called away by Shelley, who needs her help at the counter. At this point, Harry pipes in, how long have you been in love with her, for a fun callback to season 1.
Didn't you just get into town last episode?
I think it's been 2 episodes.
Okay.
But, like you said, 2 days. Anything can happen in Twin Peaks.
Boners are hard.
Boners are hard. There's magic in them there, Woods. Good and bad.
When the love is on wings, like the wings of an owl.
But the owls are not what they seem. Twin Peaks.
Dude, Twin Peaks, we should remake Twin Peaks as a sitcom.
Punchline, yeah. When love is on the wings of an owl, but the owls are not what they seem. Twin Peaks.
Oh my god.
Oh no! Harry, she's dead! Wrapped in plastic!
Not again!
The 5th time this week. I wish those evil spirits would stop killing our teenagers.
That's just like Laura Palmer's dead!
And this is her cousin? What are these?
I think we got something there. Cool.
Oh, man.
Trademark it.
Yep, screenplay coming up. We don't have to trademark anything. Parody is fair use.
Yeah, that's true.
Annie returns to hear...
Go ahead.
Sorry. Annie returns to hear the rest of the joke, and everyone gets a good laugh, while Gordon orders another entire pie from the counter, lips stained red, telling Shelley he's going to write a lovely, lovely poem about it.
Oh, boy.
Once the laughter has subsided, Annie remarks that Cooper's sketch looks like something she saw at Owl Cave, which Harry confirms once he's seen the sketch for himself. Cooper thinks it's a good idea to check it out.
I put FBI love you.
What?
Because Gordon and Cooper FBI agents, so FBI love you. It's just, that's what the episode should have been called. Anyway,
yeah,
so it was just a dumb, stupid comment I wrote because I was just like, "What the fuck is going on here?" Anyway, let's move on to James and that awesome theme that we had missed and hadn't gotten.
Just you. We don't get the vocals; we just get the guitar here, but
which I don't mind. We know it. I don't mind. It's like, I know it. That's better.
It's good for background music. Yeah. Speaking of checking it out, Donna is at home checking out the mail when she runs across the postcard from San Francisco.
From another mail.
It's James checking in. He's on his way to Mexico, but he'll be back with 1 million stories.
Hey,
I thought
babe.
it was hilarious
Yeah.
how if you freeze frame on the postcard, he's written out the number 1,000,000.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yes, instead of the words a
oh,
million
I
stories,
didn't even
which
dawn
would
on
be
me. Didn't even
yeah,
dawn on me to read that.
very much something a 17 or 18-year-old kid would do.
I just kept thinking like, hey, babe, I still got you on lockdown, right? Because I'm out here fucking lots of bitches. Anyway, I don't know.
Oh, she's got to finish high school with her ex-boyfriend who's fucking the 35-year-old woman with amnesia
Oh, Jesus Christ.
or regressive amnesia or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Poor Donna.
Doc arrives, seeing his misty-eyed daughter sitting on the stairs, and correctly guesses the reason why. He assures her once again that James will be back once he gets his head clear and his sack empty. As he heads up the stairs, Donna stops him to ask about her mom's relationship with Ben Horn. Doc Hayward constantly deflects and continually tries to play it off as nothing serious, despite Donna's insistence that something weird is afoot. Their conversation is interrupted by a knock at the door. It's a delivery of flowers for Eileen, with no signature on the card.
I actually like this scene between these two. I think they
It
played
is
it really
well
well.
acted.
They're pretty
Yeah.
intense against he's like you don't really see Doc
Yeah,
Hayward
you
get really
you
angry, and you
feel
can feel that he's getting pretty stern and upset with her, and then you can
right. Yeah,
feel
you
you can know
never
that
see that side of
she's
him.
like she knows he's lying. I think
Yeah,
yeah, and then when
yeah.
she gets
They're
the
speaking code to each other, like
and then she gets
their
the
real
flowers, and the
emotions.
flowers are obviously from Horn, but she's just kind
Yeah,
of
the
looking
look
at
she
him
gives
like,
him.
oh,
Yeah,
and it's just like that's what I want. That's
yeah,
the kind of scenes that are more fun, not like spelling it out and like fucking. I don't know. I like this
yeah,
scene. It's not shot the best, but I just like the.
yeah. Some weird. I mean, it just seems like they're going for perspective shots, which I think is strange. But
But I enjoyed it.
but yeah, we get a lot of good acting from both Warren Frost and from Lara Flynn Boyle here. I agree with you on that. This one was a good scene.
I also just think it was well written, like dialogue wise. Like I just think it's more fun than all this other stuff. I get
I
that
don't
they're
know.
doing a
I
love
think in
episode,
the
but
hands of lesser actors, this could have been a much flatter scene.
maybe I
I,
just
I feel like you wouldn't
sure.
have seen this like you were saying, like the underlying tension, like this hidden but shared knowledge between the two of them. It's like, okay, don't
Sure.
bullshit me, Dad. Okay, drop it, Donna.
Right, right. That's totally how it could have been played. That's not
Right.
how it's played. It's all they're talking between the lines here. You
Right.
know,
It's all niceties and the
yeah.
politeness that we've come to expect from this idyllic
Because they're not
family
looking
straight
at
out
each
of a
other in the
50s
face.
sitcom.
They're not seeing each other what they're actually thinking.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
so
Donna's facing away from him. He's just kind of looking at the top of her head or
right,
whatever.
right.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Until the flowers show up.
right,
And
and then
that's
you
when they,
kind of that's the exclamation point. That's kind of like
yeah.
end of
And then you see the defeat in his eyes when she
right,
walks away.
right.
Yeah. Meanwhile, in less impressively acted scenes, Audrey is at the library researching civil disobedience.
Oh
This kind of
man,
coming out of nowhere.
fuck this.
Uh, she also coincidentally runs into a once again disguised Wyndham Earl, who, with his terrible fake beard, introduces himself as Edward Perkins, poetry teacher. Another helpful coincidence is Audrey has been looking for someone to help her identify the mysterious poem she was sent.
Mm-hmm.
He informs her it was written by Shelley, but Audrey seems to sense that something is off when Perkins tells her that she looks like a queen while reading it. She excuses herself to leave, while Perkins puffs on his pipe. Smoking in the school library. Not be getting away with, well, we don't know that there was a school library, but
True, but any library,
Twin
I
Peaks does
imagine.
seem kind of small to have a public
But in
library.
Twin Peaks, 35-year-olds can fuck 17-year-olds, so what
Oh,
anything
that can
goes.
happen in any town.
It's the Pacific Northwest.
Twin
It's the
Peaks
Wild
is not
West.
unique in that regard.
It's the Wild West.
I'm sure it happens here and now.
We could ask P Diddy. We could get our oil on and get ready for our freak offs.
Our GHB laced oil. Did you hear that part of it?
No,
That's why the cops seized it, is because it tested positive for GHB.
Oh, that's fun.
I don't know if that's the word I would use. It's freaky.
It's freaky. Oh.
At the Double R.
Freak off.
Oh, God. Fucking voice text. At the Double R, Annie, not and he, but
Annie, are
Annie.
you okay? Are you okay?
Yeah, she seems okay. She's cleaning off the counter when she runs across one of the flyers for the Miss Twin Peaks pageant.
What?
Shelley encourages her to give it a thought, but Annie doesn't believe she's even remotely ready for something like that after just getting out of the convent. Annie and Shelley make a little more small talk about Annie's past before Annie inquires about Cooper. She plays it off, claiming not to be interested, but I think Shelley and the rest of us can plainly see that's bullshit. Shelley looks eager to play Cupid. Cupid for Cooper. Back in the sheriff's station, Lucy is continuing to practice her chess at her desk when a rope drops from the ceiling in front of her. As she and Hawk watch on, Andy rappels down the rope from the ceiling, laden with gear for their upcoming expedition to Owl Cave. So where is he coming from?
He's coming from the drop ceiling that clearly can support him. I don't know. It's like fucking... What is... This is literally just out of someone's ass. You know, it was nice to see them, because I feel like it's been a while since we've had... I don't know. It just... You know, but it's a nice short one.
They've had an update on their,
right.
Their love story.
And then
that's really what this whole episode is.
Yeah, because she's kind of...
Updates on love stories.
She's kind of like, Dick is not being so good, and she's like, cares about Andy. And
yeah, and like she's all like, kind of like breathy when she talks about, oh, you were so good at the Weasel Riot, or whatever the fuck she calls it.
I mean, the funny thing, too, is that, like, he comes from the ceiling, obviously, but then where is he actually going? Because, like, he already landed on the floor, and then he's going lower on the floor. It's like, right. What?
It's down to the basement.
Clearly, it was just the choice to just, like, no one cares. Just do it.
Yeah, and he looks like he's afraid to go down further, like he's in danger. Like, what the fuck?
I also like how the harness just has his junk just fucking... just mashed up in front. Like, I don't know if you were paying attention to that, but it's just like, holy shit, what the fuck is going?
I've worn a harness like that, and that just kind of happens.
No, I know, but it's funny that like
so that they show it off, like they center it.
It's just like centered on the and like I don't know. I think like nowadays you would have to make a joke about that. Then probably, you know, and like this is where we are in this like anyway. Weird scene.
But yeah, apparently we're the only ones who are focusing on Andy's penis at this point. Except for maybe Lucy. Maybe that's one other reason why he's caught her eye there. Lucy's interest in Andy seems to have been renewed by his mature actions during the Weasel Riot at the fashion show. He takes her compliments in stride. It's just part of the job, as he promises to be careful in the face of danger. Aww. Cooper brings Harry's gear into his office right as he's finished calling in his next move to the paper. There it
is. I guess I just missed that.
Yeah. So yeah, this is where you see Harry move the knight, I think. And that's when Cooper walks in the door.
I must have been writing. I don't know what I was doing.
Yeah, and because then the two talk about the strategy a little bit. Maybe Cooper's like, oh, that leaves our pawn open.
Grabbed a beer or something, just like...
Maybe, yeah, because this is a throwaway scene. Because like this is just like, should we do that? Pete knows what he's doing. Is Cole coming with? No, Cole's not coming with. Shelley's taking him to Doc Hayward's for a hearing test, which is all like, what? Like, okay, if he can't drive himself from Bend to Twin Peaks, or, you know, how did he get there? Doesn't he have an FBI assistant to drive him around? Or?
I zoned out. Like, I don't recall any
Missed
of that.
This whole scene, huh?
I just sat there like...
It's less... I mean, I think if we like timed it, it would probably be like a 60-second or
Did I
less
pass
scene.
out? I don't know. I remember
This really could have been just something like you blinked and missed it.
because
Like you might have been checking a
after that,
notification on your phone.
because after this scene, then we go to the cave, right? Where
No, after this, we get a quick look at Johnny Horn on a buffalo hunt.
dude, I must have passed out. What? What? On the
Didn't you watch this show before?
oh, is this with the carrot?
Yes.
Oh, I remember all this.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Except the fact that Johnny's involved.
This scene is fucking weird. Because anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
But yeah, Doc Hayward's for a hearing test.
Yeah. Okay.
And Shelley's tagging along for some reason.
Okay. Well,
where's
her new
Bobby?
boyfriend?
Hmm?
Oh,
yeah,
are they gonna
where's
fight?
Bobby?
Gordon versus Bobby.
Because we don't see Bobby hanging around Ben Horn at all either. Not now that Jack is around.
Ultra Twin Peaks fighter. We always play as Gordon versus Bobby.
The guy that plays Gordon.
No, you know characters.
That weird actor that plays Gordon.
Anyway, no. What I'm saying, like the video game.
I know.
I would play David Lynch, and I would fight Bobby. Whoever plays Bobby, you can play Bobby.
I can play Bobby.
Yeah, you can play Bobby. One of Bobby's special things is that he uses his pompadour as a whip.
Right, because I got one of those.
Well, Bobby does.
Yeah, and I'm Bobby, so
in the video game, Gabe.
Clearly, I looked the part.
Anyway, never mind. You would play him on the controller, like literally
a
video game.
Like
I just made all. Anyway, never mind. We have gone off.
We've gone way off. We've gone way off, like Johnny Horn on a buffalo hunt.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What was that about?
That's Johnny's war cry, man.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. Right. I don't know how many. I should have counted how many times we heard it. I want to say it was 5. They just use it to punctuate the occasional line for comedic sake, I guess. Didn't work on me.
No, it didn't work on me either. Did not work on me either.
But, maybe it made me laugh in 91. Now we head into Ben's office where he's having a heart-to-heart with Audrey. Apparently she's the one he trusts to be perfectly honest with him, which is something he needs in his quest to be a better person.
She's the man for the job.
She is the man for the job. So he plans to give her a bigger role in the running of the business. John Justice Wheeler arrives just in time to hear this great news, but it comes with a catch. Ben is sending Audrey to Seattle this very night so she can make a conference with the environmentalists in the morning.
No date.
Frowny, sad Audrey face. Sad, mopey John Justice Wheeler face.
No hammer and nails for you.
No, he'll just have to spend the rest of the evening touching up the hairline on his toupee.
Don't worry, he has a carrot now.
Yeah, that's not going to help him.
That was such a wild scene.
We're not done.
I know we're not done yet, but it's just
It is. It's a very. So they have this bit where Ben and John kind of sit on the couch the same way, and John is wearing the same kind of horn rimmed glasses that Ben has, and they've both got great heads of hair, and I'm like, okay, why is Audrey getting with the younger version of her dad?
Because your daddy did it. That's what happens, girls. Cliches, baby.
Cliches. Makes me more. It's something I didn't notice back then, but I notice it now, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
But you do feel that Johnny is a bit more morally. His compass is a little bit more morally positive, unless they were to tell us what his weird greenhouse was and how it would ruin the world.
Yes. If it was a genetically modified organism that's become sentient.
There you go, exactly.
And create odd people.
Because clearly Ben Horn was up to no good and, had sex with a woman that is now paralyzed and had to give up his daughter and was just doing awful shit.
That was his fault?
Anyway.
Right? How is Eileen getting around like that?
I assume that like he held her just after the crash, because he talks about I haven't held you since just after the incident or whatever he says.
Since just after that night.
That night where I think it all went wrong.
No, I think he's talking about the night that he. Yeah, we'll get to that, but like the implication is, something special happened that
or
night.
Awful. And that's what
awful.
And that's why they went their separate ways. That's why they're not together. That's why he wants to make it up to her.
So who is the her that Ben Horne was talking about when he asked, "Have you told her?"
Who do you think?
Yes. So I'm saying since the night that her was
conceived. She had some kind of weird abortion, but there was a car accident and she lost her legs. And now she can't walk anymore. It's all awful stuff has happened.
I think we're reading too much into it, especially for a scene that happened a long time ago. Let's continue with the scene we're currently on.
It's never too late.
It's never too late for now. So Audrey eyes old John Justice Wheeler with regret in her gaze as she heads out the door. This gives Ben the opportunity to chat alone with old Jack and to absorb some more lessons on how to be a good person. John says that a big part of that is telling the truth. And he demonstrates by admitting to Ben that he's falling in love with Audrey. News to which Ben reacts with a big smile and an offer of a celebratory carrot.
This is all because he quit smoking cigars, right?
The carrots, yeah.
So then he pulls one out like a cigar.
It's like people who use toothpicks to quit smoking.
Exactly. So
cigarettes, Yeah. It just, takes the place of the muscle memory habits of it. I actually when I quit smoking cigarettes, I used toothpicks for a little while. I didn't use them for long. It was just kind of another crutch, but yeah, it helped.
I like the idea that he's got like a whole pack of carrots in his jacket.
He opens up a big silver case of them.
Just out it.
Offers them around.
We go out to Olive Garden, me and Ben Horne. It's like, dude, they didn't put carrots in this salad. Hey, Ben,
got you covered. Half of the case is a cheese grater. Anywho, now evening has fallen as the Law Gang has made their way to Owl Cave, a local natural feature popular for amateur spelunkers and drunk teenagers alike. Huck guides them deeper into the cave, where they find Cooper's sketch carved into the wall with a drawing of a flame added to the top of it.
Wait a minute. We're not even going to talk about. We're not going to talk about.
Don't look down, Andy. Don't look down.
I don't understand that whole scene. Like, what is that about?
About Andy falling down because he looked down.
Yeah, but he's like not even on off the ground.
It does. Yeah, it all seems.
Like, what is the point of that? It was
shot from a very poor angle to make it seem like
it was a joke.
It was
just
any climbing to descend. Yeah, it didn't make sense.
I think it's just a fucking stupid joke that they're like I don't know. It made no sense.
Yeah, I agree. Seemed silly to me. Boop, boop, boop. Suddenly, they hear the call of an owl, which flies into the cave with them, sending them all ducking for cover and panicking like idiots. Andy takes a swing at the owl with his pickaxe, instead striking directly into the heart of the fire symbol on the wall, causing it to glow and his pickaxe to become stuck in the wall. As the men watch on in astonishment, a large diamond-shaped piece of rock pushes its way out from the wall and falls away to reveal a protruding cylinder with yet another strange petroglyph on it, centered on a sketch colored in with fire deep within the recess of the wall. Cooper remarks that he has no idea where this is leading, but he believes it to be a place both wonderful and strange. Are we sure about that? I'll go with strange. I'll give you 50-50. A badly animated owl flies out from the cave as the ominous music swells. What do you think of Owl Cave? Fun set, right? That's got to be on a sound stage somewhere in LA.
I like how they lock it down.
It's a cave. What are they going to do?
I know, but like, is it not a police investigation at this point?
Probably not. I would say
should
this
be
is strictly a Bookhouse Boys thing.
What? No.
I mean, what part of a police investigation would this search support?
This is all part of the FBI. It doesn't matter.
They're not working on Project Blue Book at this point.
It doesn't matter. Like, I would still, let's lock this down. We're just gonna we're gonna leave this random shit, this hole with this shaft pole hanging out and like all these glyphs. It's like, this is perfectly normal.
Well, that's 2020's thinking for sure.
Dude, but I think that's, I mean, what are you talking about? I mean, it's like, what are you talking about? Like Indiana Jones level thinking, and that's 80s. I find this is all just like, we need to. No, I disagree with all, like, I just don't get this. Anyway.
Yeah.
I find this all complete bullshit.
A lot of it is. But let's head to the lounge at the Great Northern, where we're hearing, piano jazz. It's a typical evening bar or something. Annie has embarked on her next post-convent adventure, ordering a drink at the bar. She settles on a rum and tonic on the advice of the bartender, who treats her to her first drink. Cooper enters with his ever-present tape recorder, dictating the evening's events to Diane, but he stops mid-story and turns it off when he sees Annie alone at the bar. I think that's an indicator of just how interested Cooper is. He's even willing to turn Diane off for a minute here. Cooper greets Annie, and they pick up their conversation where they left off about how he admires the way that the world still appears so new to her. After a bit, he kind of impolitely stares at the scar on her wrist, which makes Annie a little uncomfortable and leads to a moment of vulnerability. She confesses that there are failures in her past that she's ashamed of. Cooper offers to help in whatever way he's able, and after a little more discussion, it appears the two agree to a date. See, that was weird to me.
This whole relationship is weird to me. It's just because it's just for the fucking show. It's just, I don't, like, it's all, I feel like it's all fit. Yeah, I don't. Graduate Audrey. Have Audrey be his love. I don't understand. Like, they had more chemistry. There's no chemistry between these two, really.
I think you can sense a little bit of it.
It's just hardcore acting.
Yes.
How old is Heather Graham in comparison?
Like, really? She's actually in real, like, as filming was going on, Heather Graham was 19.
Yeah, see.
And Sherilyn Fenn was 25.
See.
Yeah. Kyle MacLachlan, I have no idea. I think he was late 20s, maybe 28, 29. Could be wrong about
Lynch in this at this point?
I would guess mid-30s. Okay. We could do a little research on that, but that would be where I would put him, mid to late 30s.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like the whole Heather Graham thing is just forced on us for this whole plot.
It doesn't feel as natural to me now as it did, like, watching it happen back in the day. And, maybe I'm projecting from some stuff that happens later. We'll see if you agree. But she definitely feels like a rookie here.
It's also funny because it doesn't really do any real true, like, soap opera stuff where there is, like, an actual love triangle. Like, there's, like, kind of a triangle, but they're all, like, kind of, like, no one gives a shit. So it's like, like the Norma, Ed, Nadine thing. Like, that's a love triangle technically, but it's like no one's really fighting. Nadine's not awfully, maybe later.
Yeah, I just think, and like, we never do get any interaction between Shelley and Audrey regarding Bobby. So
Yeah,
that doesn't really count either.
It's just a weird, and like Audrey doesn't, obviously she blew off Bobby, and now she's on to this other dude. And
Oh
she's
yeah,
just so
well,
easily,
Jack.
she's so easy, and Audrey is so easily over Coop because they just obviously there's actual
Yeah,
personal stuff in the background playing into that they obviously didn't want to. I don't know. I just feel like Jesus Christ,
yeah. How much time has it been since Cooper walked in on her naked in his bed?
right?
Can't have been more than 2 weeks at this
Right?
point.
But that's out
But
of my
we're
mind.
on
Out of my
we're
mind.
on TV time here. We do have one last scene to cover as Wyndham Earl has made his own way into Owl Cave, which wasn't locked down, fucking dumbass cops. Eventually, running across the cylinder with the glyph jutting out of the wall that Cooper and the gang uncovered, he shines his flashlight onto the opposite wall, where he sees an image of the glyph inverted. So he grabs the cylinder and with some effort twists it until the symbol is upside down. A low rumbling sound begins to grow, and Andy's pickaxe falls out from the wall as loose gravel begins to fall from the ceiling.
Here's another thing.
Roll credits.
Even if you're against like the cops locking it down for no reason, I mean they have the right to do that because they can do that anyway, or the feds. They can do that because they want to, no matter what, because it's like this is something they want to investigate, keep everyone out. Even if you're against doing that, like you're telling me that Coop and these other guys, like they did this thing, they saw this thing, it's like, oh, that's interesting. We should go now. Like not investigate it or look around or do any of the stuff that Wyndham Earl's gonna. It's just like
maybe Harry had to puke again. I don't know.
It's just so stupid. It's such a
There are some plot holes in this one compared to last week, which you argued was the best episode ever. But
this one is not fun. I mean, this was well produced. There's some fun. There's some cute.
Yeah, I mean, this is.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's not an amateur behind the camera on this one by any means, but the subject material here is furthering a lot of stuff that we're not all that interested in. So,
I mean, ultimately, really what it does, it points out that all these 4 girls are going to be the ones that he wants to kill, and he's setting up some grand scheme to kill them. And then there's a cave. Well, he wants Cooper. Well, that's what he set up. That's the kind of important his plan.
I'm being facetious.
And then, are we meant to believe? I mean, is Earl gonna fall into the Black Lodge? Is this like the gateway into the Black Lodge or something? Is that what this is? Or is he? Like the other thing is like, it'd be awesome if he just got covered in dirt and died. But I'm not that lucky, so this has got to be.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think the implication is pretty clear that that's what Earl wants, is to find his way into the lodge.
Okay.
And, as we see in a couple episodes, there's one named The Path to the Black Lodge. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie. That's kind of where we're headed.
And is the Black Lodge the red room with a little midget guy and
that's open to interpretation.
I hope it's with the midget and Laura Palmer. She's still alive. She's just that's why you keep seeing her image at the end of the credits because she's still alive down there.
There is nothing that happens in the Red Room that is as adequately explained as anything you've seen in the last 6 weeks or so.
Or ever
like
again.
what the way you were talking about earlier about how this is all like verbal exposition. It's all a lot of talking about what's happening. That shit don't happen in the Red Room. That's why the Red Room sticks out. That's why all of this shit is filler.
Right.
So, I can't tell you much more about that.
Okay, I have a question for you then. In this episode, what do you think is the one piece? What is the most important piece of information that was given in this episode?
I guess probably the new glyph you see at the end of the cylinder.
Holy shit. We could have put that in the last episode. All right. Somehow we could have easily written it in some stupid way. I don't know. Cool. All right.
But that symbol becomes
important.
Pretty key.
Gotcha.
going forward.
Was it an owl? Is that the diamond with the wings?
Mm-hmm.
Is that why Deftones' album Diamond Eyes doesn't that have an owl on it?
Maybe. I'm not a Deftones guy.
That's too bad. Is Diamond Eyes the owl?
But I do know that there are several heavy metal bands that took a lot of inspiration from Twin Peaks, Lynch's work.
Yep, Diamond Eyes is the one with the owl on the cover.
Interesting.
No.
No.
Probably has nothing to do with it. But, anywho.
Okay.
What else we got?
So, yeah. We don't have much. We're going to run short this week because there is little to no trivia involved with this episode.
Dunham. Dunham's this was his 100th episode he directed.
This is only his 3rd episode, but that's a lot for a series that only has 30. So yeah, this is his final farewell, at least behind the director's chair. I think he might do some more editing work from here on out.
That's right, he's the editor.
Chiefly. But yeah, this is his 3rd episode. He was actually the one who directed the first regular season episode to follow the pilot. So he's been on board since the very, very beginning. He's an old hand.
So who's done the most episodes aside from Lynch, I guess?
It was I think it was Leslie Linka Glatter.
Okay.
Probably her or maybe Caleb Deschanel. If you'll give me a moment, I can go to the IMDb page and answer that question.
Got to give you some trivia.
Yeah. Stuff that I don't know off the top of my head. That's not hard with this show. I know a lot, but compared to the people who are going to pay $40 to see Fire Walk with Me at the Clinton Street Theater.
Was that last night or tonight?
I'm not that big of a fan.
When was that?
No, it's not till December.
Oh, December. Oh, that's a ways off.
Yeah. Yeah, the tickets just went on sale.
I'm just not into that kind of celebrity stuff. It's cool. People are. Enjoy.
Yeah, I have very, very few. There were 14 people that directed episodes. Top of that list is David Lynch with 6. Number 2 is Leslie Linka Glatter with 4. Caleb Deschanel and Dwayne Dunham and Tim Hunter are all tied at 3rd with 3 episodes.
Cool.
Todd Holland and Tina Rathbone each did 2. Everybody else is a onesie. And those onesies are Graham Clifford, Mark Frost, Uli Edel, James Foley, Stephen Gyllenhaal, Diane Keaton, and Jonathan Sanger.
Diane Keaton needs to get a second chance.
Some of whom I don't think we've actually discussed yet. I didn't recognize a couple of those names. But,
There's 4 episodes left and 2 of them are David Lynch, or no?
4 episodes left and 1 of them are David Lynch.
Oh, okay.
2 of them did air together as one mini movie, but those 2 episodes were originally shot as 2 separate episodes and were directed by 2 different people.
Gotcha.
So, quick look at the ratings and how badly they're sliding at this point. Actually, they're not sliding. This is our 2nd week back from hiatus, back on Thursday nights against Cheers. The ratings have held pretty steady. Same millions, 9.2 million viewers. 6.3 rating, up a little bit from the 6.2 we got last week.
9.2 is so good.
9.2 million is a lot.
I don't know.
It wasn't enough to keep you afloat in network
not
TV
then,
days.
but nowadays, and even in network television, I think the new Matlock series on CBS is like a buzz and doing really well. I think that's like at 7.6.
Yeah. And that's like success at this point.
That's success.
That's not getting you canceled. But yeah, it's not going to hold steady for very long, as this episode turned a lot of people off, apparently. They would lose 1.3 million viewers next week.
Wow. This was just a really pointless episode, in my opinion.
I mean, unless you like soap opera bullshit.
But it wasn't even good soap opera bullshit.
Unless what you're watching for is the love story, and nobody was watching for that.
But it's not a love story.
Literally nobody.
But it's not even a love story, Gabe. It's like no one's fighting for love. They're just stupidly doing gaga stuff. Like,
they're just like getting to know each other.
Oh, the cherry pie. Oh, my penguin joke. It's like, it's puke. It's just like puke. It's like, it's not soap opera. There's nothing soap opera about that. It's like what, second grade Valentine's Day. Oh, I gave a little Valentine to my Valentine with a little candy heart, but this other, it's not even that. That's even more drama. I was gonna say that the other kid had a Valentine with the big candy heart, but it's not even that level of drama, because there is not that level of drama in this show when it comes to the love stories. So never mind. Second grade soap opera, way more exciting. Because there's no drama. There's no stakes.
Yeah. Not yet, anyway.
It was a frustrating
but maybe
episode.
We'll get to that next week. It was, yeah. This was another one that I had a hard time motivating myself to watch twice.
Why watch it twice, Gabe?
Well, because I watch it once as a viewer and once as a reviewer.
But you've seen it twice before as a viewer, right? At least?
Yeah, but it's been a good 10 years, Perspective changes in that amount of time.
I guess. How much are you put off, like, doing this now? How much are you put off of this, both of these seasons? Like, how much is this, like, just dwindling the light in your...
It's taking a toll. I'm not gonna lie.
Like the whole series, not like just not just the bad episodes, but just overall. Is it like diminishing it?
It is a little bit, and I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of relieved when you asked me to take last week off. I was just kind of like, oh, yeah, I'm good. Just because it's my prep for each episode being weekly. It's a lot of prep, and it's just like, it takes up 3 days of my week.
I feel bad too because
it's all focused on Twin Peaks.
I'm trying to be positive. I just like through my lens balls. I just like, oh.
Well, like I said, we're through the doldrums at this point. We've only got a few hours of senseless love story bullshit to go through before we get to the good stuff.
This is probably the last time you'll ever revisit these episodes, though, probably.
Not without some serious fast forwarding.
What would it take you after this? Oh, go ahead.
I think I've mentioned before that, like, the last 2 times I went through the original series, I skipped all the scenes with James and Evelyn entirely. Like, I just fast forward through those because they bored the shit out of me. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. There are a lot of TV shows and a lot of books I read that I don't mind going through and, like, seeing or reading again, because I tend to pick up little details that I missed the first time through. But now that I'm going over these episodes with a fine-tooth comb, I'm not really feeling like there's much juice left for me to squeeze out of them, so to speak.
What would it take you then? Like, let's say in the future, if you did, what would it take you to go back through it again?
I mean, I'd probably just like 5 years would be my guess.
So just time. It would like
maybe, yeah.
It wouldn't be
once I'm in my 50s, I'll probably go through.
Or
it again
someone else
some point.
like hadn't. But like if someone like come along in your life and is like, oh, I've never
seen
it.
If I were to start dating someone who had never seen it before, that would get me to go through it again.
It's like I've always wanted to watch that.
Yep, that would totally sell me.
Your thing should be like, well, yeah, we can watch it, but then you also have to listen to the podcast as a companion. But you have to do that on your own time when you're at work.
Right, yeah. No, I don't want to listen to myself talk. God.
Anyway.
I want you to listen. Dear viewers, my dear viewers, how much we adore you. Yeah, like there is zero IMDb trivia here. Like the biggest paragraph is an explanation of what a petroglyph is, which how the fuck is that movie trivia,
Cool.
I didn't really watch any of the special features on this disc yet. It's set up in this big weird grid where like there's the list of actors and then there's like pre-production, during production, and then legacy. And then like there's this, you can select the actor and watch all three in a row, or you can select all the pre-production and watch all the pre-production in a row. It's just kind of a weird setup. So, but it looks like a lot of material, and I haven't dug into it yet. That's something I'll hopefully tackle over.
Dug into it?
No, not this one.
Interesting.
Like ever since owning the box set, I haven't looked at any of the behind the scenes stuff. And maybe again, it's because I don't want to burn myself out on the magic,
right?
Metaphorically speaking. But yeah, like I said, like pretty much every episode of The Return has like a 30, 45-minute supplemental material to go along with it. So I'm going to be covering a lot of that. I might not be watching those episodes twice.
No,
we'll see. Or we might be going bi-weekly at that point just to give me some time to breathe.
Well, that's fine. That's only like 8 episodes, though, right? 6?
No, The Return is 18 episodes.
Oh, is it? Oh, I didn't realize it was like that long of a season. Oh,
yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit.
And these are full-hour episodes, not the 43-minute bullshit. And the way, Lynch has described it as being edited as an 18-hour film.
That's brutal.
Yeah, it depends.
Oh, man, this better be good.
I mean,
better be worth it,
spend
Gabe.
A lot more time asking questions that start with why, and there will be a lot fewer answers to those questions.
Okay, all right.
You're just going to have to come up with your own answers for a lot of the stuff you see in The Return.
Or I just ask you what you think.
Well, I mean, some of it does get cleared up by some of the supplemental material that Frost wrote and published. The final dossier is what that's known as. So once I've dug into that, again, that's stuff that like contains spoilers for things that we have a long time to go over. Those might be worth episodes unto themselves. But they also like the supplemental material will answer questions that are left hanging at the end of the original series that never do get answered by The Return.
Gotcha.
So we do run into a few of those.
All right.
But we also run into plenty of new material in The Return, which does not take place solely in Twin Peaks. I'll start with that.
Just new stuff.
New characters, new connections to old stuff that aren't ever fully explained.
Are there great new characters?
I think so, yeah.
All right. I
think there's some that are.
I hope so.
That are. I mean.
Mama needs a new bag.
Would it surprise you to tell me that one of my favorite characters in The Return is actually played by Jim Belushi?
Oh, well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah, so keep that one on the back burner there.
God, I love K9.
Dude, the principal? Hardcore stuff, man. That is real ghetto life, right?
I don't think I ever saw The Principal. I saw
The Principal?
I saw The
Substitute. Is that what it was?
No, Substitute's not with Jim Belushi. It's a different. It's the same kind of movie,
Berenger.
But it's a different. Yeah. It's a different.
Yeah, it's Tom Berenger, I think.
Yes.
But yeah, same gist.
It's like Lean on Me.
No, it's not.
I mean, come on.
In Lean on Me, they reason with the bullies. And
Morgan
the substitute
Freeman,
and the principal, they just beat the shit out of them.
He locks the kids into school with the chain. And everyone was pissed off at him because, like, what if that school burnt down? They couldn't get out. It's like, at least they were learning. Anyway.
Oh, is that what South Park stole that from?
I think.
That's a movie
I don't think I've ever seen that South Park parody of that. But yeah.
The one where Jimmy and Timmy try and bring peace between the Bloods and the Crips.
I never.
If you've never seen that episode, it's incredible.
No, that's where they see. Then if they're chaining the school together, yeah. That's
they chain the Bloods and the Crips in the school together.
Yeah, fun.
Yeah, that's a great episode. Anyway, I think for this episode, we've about wrapped things up.
We're good.
Not much
an hour
more
and 20.
discussed.
We're good.
Yeah, we squeezed enough material out of this one.
Light episode.
Probably be our shortest run ever still, but
I do not think it is.
We hate love.
That's not true, Gabe. Our first episode was only like 55 minutes.
Pilot?
The very first episode, yeah.
Our coverage of the pilot was less than an hour?
I think so, yes. It was an hour. We went through it super fast. And then that's where we decided to change some stuff around, and we slowed it down a bit. And I started interjecting between scenes.
Oh, right, yeah. Because the first episode I did the whole rundown before we did reactions.
Right.
Yeah, that would definitely alter the pace a little bit.
Anytime we go over an hour, we've done...
We've done good.
We've done God's work.
Right. So once again, we mentioned the socials in the beginning, but you know where they're at. Instagram is the most common one I see. That's the one I have the most fun with. So
Insta.
Get us up there. Send us a message. Blank as a fart. I actually check that one. I see the likes. We get some friends of the show. Gary O'Brien, I remember seeing come up a lot. My own personal friends, Minna and Sarah, thanks again for your support of the show. Sasha for tuning in. Love you all, folks. Thanks for supporting us, and thanks for enjoying. We're certainly having fun, right, Ian?
Oh, so much fun.
So much fun.
Dude.
Give us a wink. Give us a wink, Ian. Oh, yeah, there it is.
Blink twice if I need help?
Right, yeah. If I'm holding you hostage, if you're chained to your microphone right now, with the episodes just playing on a loop.
Right.
So what's our next week's title? What do we have?
I don't know.
Variations and Relations. Oh, God. Yeah, these were definitely originally written in a foreign language. The IMDb summary gives us Cooper and company find the mysterious petroglyph. Well, we knew that. Wyndham Earle befriends a rock and roll youth and tells him tales of places called the White and Black Lodge.
So clearly he didn't die in that cave by all the dirt falling down.
Oh, yeah, spoiler alert.
Thanks, Gabe. Way to go. Way to ruin it for me.
And Pete helps Catherine open the first puzzle box. We'll come back to that plot line.
I gotta think that Pete opened her puzzle box once before, but...
Yeah, Catherine would definitely be difficult to unlock, wouldn't she?
Mr. Horn. Mr. Horn has the answer to that question.
Oh, that's just money.
Oh.
Heyo.
Heyo.
So yeah, next week, the final four begins. Variations and Relations. 34 years later.
Yay.
Yay. So why don't you join us then next Wednesday, 8 p.m. live on YouTube, or whenever you feel like it, just click on the links in our bio.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us again, folks. Take care. Let a smile be your umbrella.
Peace.
We'll see you next week.
Out.